Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, which you're probably not, my name is Rachel Zegler. If you're not, then...
When Hollywood's newest rising star starts generating controversy faster than applause, the fallout becomes impossible to ignore, and that's exactly the situation many online observers believe Rachel Zegler has found herself in. Her career once looked unstoppable, marked by a whirlwind ascent from promising newcomer to major studio headliner, but as old interviews resurfaced and certain comments began circulating again, the public conversation around her shifted dramatically. What began as a few critical posts snowballed into an ongoing debate across social media, leaving people wondering whether this moment marks a turning point in her trajectory or merely a temporary setback she'll eventually rise above. A lot of the criticism she faces today stems from remarks made when she was still very young, outspoken, and navigating an era where nearly every statement becomes polarized overnight. Many fans argue that her earlier comments were less about malice and more about youthful confidence mixed with the pressure of navigating sudden fame in a charged cultural climate. Still, as these clips resurfaced, they collided with growing frustration from parts of the internet who felt she was too dismissive of the original material behind the roles she took on. Whether fair or not, that perception began gaining traction online. Zegler didn't simply enter the entertainment world, she launched into it. West Side Story didn't just introduce her to the public, it positioned her as one of Hollywood's most promising young talents. Her casting as Snow White only amplified that momentum, making her seem like the next major face of a new generation of studio-led storytelling. But the higher someone rises, the more closely people scrutinize every move, and soon, discussions about her talent were overshadowed by debates about her interviews, public persona, and the way she approached certain roles. For many viewers, the concern hasn't been about her ability, few deny her vocal power or screen presence, but rather about how her words were received, interpreted, and circulated in the vast echo chambers of online culture. What might have once been seen as confidence or ambition became, in some circles, framed as arrogance or dismissiveness. Add in multiple viral clips, commentary videos, reaction threads, and outrage cycles, and the situation snowballed into what now feels like a full-blown online reckoning. For a long time now, it feels as though no rising star has attracted as much polarized attention as Rachel Zegler, whose public image has shifted dramatically as online conversations intensified around her interviews and old social media posts. Much of the criticism stems from the way some viewers interpreted her comments about the original Snow White film, remarks that many fans found dismissive, sparking a wave of frustration that quickly spread across TikTok, YouTube, and Twitter. As people began revisiting her recent press moments, clips circulated portraying her tone as confident, blunt, or sarcastic, depending on who you asked, but in the fast-paced world of social media, those distinctions blurred and snowballed into larger debates about her attitude. One viral TikTok clip in particular, where her delivery came off to some as more cynical than charming, fueled hashtags like Not My Snow White and turned her press tour into trending discourse almost overnight. Old tweets and political posts resurfaced as well, becoming ammunition for online critics who framed them as inconsistent or overly bold. Quotes encouraging followers to vote blue or criticizing public figures skyrocketed back into the spotlight, with TikTok creators dissecting them in dramatic edits captioned with lines like "Girl, what are you doing?" The kind of hyper-amplified reactions that can turn a small moment into an internet firestorm. And as thousands of strangers began sifting through every comment she had ever made, the situation escalated, illustrating how quickly online culture can inflate even minor missteps into major controversies. Platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and Reddit only magnified the split in public opinion. Some fans argue that she is being unfairly targeted, pointing out how young many of these statements were and how internet algorithms thrive on outrage. Others insist that her own words have fed the backlash and that she needs to approach her public image more thoughtfully. The entertainment press has joined in too, often positioning her at the center of broader conversations about Disney casting, celebrity behavior, and the pressure of modern fandom. In one of the most circulated clips from the Snow White press tour, Rachel Zegler comments on how the 1937 animated classic very evidently reflects the era it came from, pointing out the heavy emphasis on romance and the princess waiting for a prince. She explains that the new version focuses more on Snow White becoming a leader rather than dreaming of true love, even joking about the original prince's behavior being strange by today's standards. She called it weird more than once, remarks that, depending on who you ask, either showed her honesty or her disconnect from fans attached to the original story. And while that may seem harmless, the internet grabbed onto those soundbites instantly. As backlash picked up speed, a larger question began circulating online. Can Rachel Zegler bounce back from all of this? Because right now, to many observers, it feels like a career that once looked like a fairy tale rise is suddenly balancing on a very thin ledge. Within fan circles and commentary channels, speculation began swirling about whether industry relationships had grown strained and whether casting her as Snow White had become a point of second guessing, especially at a time when Disney is already struggling to keep its live-action remakes culturally relevant. None of these rumors are confirmed, but they spread quickly online, and as always, once people see smoke, they assume fire. The situation becomes even more complicated when you consider Hollywood's long, inconsistent history with cancel culture. It's a system that can be unpredictable and sometimes brutally unforgiving. Some stars, like Johnny Depp, have staged massive comebacks after long periods of public controversy, buoyed by decades of loyal supporters. Others, like Armie Hammer, fell out of the spotlight almost instantly once scandals took over the conversation. The difference often comes down to timing, public sympathy, narrative momentum, and how the person responds when things hit the fan. For Zegler, those responses have been mixed in the eyes of online audiences. She's had moments where she apologized or clarified her comments, moments where she seemed irritated by the scrutiny, and moments where she simply stayed quiet. And in an era where every gesture becomes a headline, even silence gets interpreted. Hollywood has always had actors and actresses who became intensely disliked, sometimes fairly, sometimes unfairly, and studios have often tried to market their way through it. But with Zegler and the Snow White remake, no amount of glossy promotion seemed to sway the critics who were already frustrated. For many viewers, the issue wasn't the film itself, but the perception that the studio was pushing a narrative audiences weren't buying into. And once the internet decides it's not interested, even the most carefully crafted PR campaign can struggle to turn the tide. Instead of calming things down, each new clip and quote has only fueled more heated reactions online, with some viewers interpreting her tone as dismissive or simply difficult to root for, an unfortunate place to be when your entire public image was originally built on being relatable, warm, and fresh-faced. Adding to that, Disney is already facing intense criticism over its recent projects, and now Zegler has become the easiest target in the crossfire. Some people argue she's being used as a scapegoat for frustrations that go far beyond her, frustrations tied to the studio, the live-action remake trend, or the growing fatigue audiences feel toward modern reimaginings. Whatever the reason, she's become the lightning rod for a much bigger storm. But even in the chaos, not everything is bleak. Loyal fans continue defending her, insisting the backlash is exaggerated, fueled by internet drama, and amplified by algorithms that thrive on conflict. And the truth is, Zegler is still young, extremely talented, and early in her career, factors that could absolutely give her the space for a rebound if the narrative shifts in her favor. The bigger question is whether Hollywood and the wider public will allow that shift to happen, or whether the moment has spiraled too far for an easy recovery. Hollywood, after all, loves redemption arcs, but they only work when the star embraces the role. Right now, Zegler stands at a major crossroads where every comment, every appearance, and every decision carries a kind of weight it never had before. As audiences often say, you don't have to insult people's nostalgia to win them over. Ignore the fans, mock their love for the classics, and they won't riot, they simply won't show up. And that's the warning many believe Zegler needs to hear if she hopes to repair her image and change the narrative.